Hey, 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 hey! Welcome back to another video. Today is Friday, November 11th, and as we speak, it is currently 2:23 p.m. And we are currently waiting for Mason Aubrey to go to school. I have Lex in the back seat. You can't see him at the moment. He's currently drinking his cup. I see you. And playing with his cars. I thought I'd kind of do an update on life, I guess you would say. It's been not too crazy. Um, we've had some things kind of going on, but like not traumatic. Oh no, I lost my earring. Oh no. Okay, before I get into that, I had a set of spiders, and then I had a set of webs up above it. I lost the web up here, but I still had the spider, and I had this one and the web. And then I lost the web, like the other day, and then I lost this one. And now I lost this one sometime today. So I'm down to one spider. Alright, I'm just gonna take it out. So anyways, as I was saying, with all of this, people are slowly starting to get in the line for the kids. They get out at 3, and if you want a good spot, you got to get here like 30 to 45 minutes early, or you're like completely all the way on another street. And for some parents, that's okay, that's fine. For me, on the other hand, I can't walk long distances, and I fall and trip a lot, and it wears me out. So even if I'm like a block or two away, because of my muscular dystrophy and my really bad hip, I can't do that. So, everybody, say goodbye to Spidey. I'm gonna put you on my door, so I have you. But, life update. Let's see. I think the last time that I spoke to you guys like this was the car vlog when it was Harry Potter week, which would have been a month ago. So, with everything going on, my mom did get her car back. It got fixed. As a matter of fact, it got fixed like the day or two after I made that video, which is great. It's fine. And then, yeah, we're waiting for Bubby and Sissy to go to school. Can you say May May? Yes, you can. Yes. But, she got her car fixed, and then, what is this on my face? She got her car fixed, and then, with all of that being said, what the heck? I had a fuzzy by my eyeball. Okay. Alright, I'm done. Okay, so, she got her car fixed, and then she was able to go back home, and it was more, like, convenient. I'm pretty sure she got a promotion. Another promotion. I know that she was in the process of being switched from another store, which came with the promotion. So instead of assistant manager, I think she was going to be like store manager or something like that. Don't exactly quote me on that, because I can't exactly remember what her new position was. My mom, however, has stopped going to Dunkin's, and if you know my mother, she is obsessed with Dunkin'. She has Dunkin's coffee. That scared me. Oh my gosh. But she's got to have Dunkin's at least 2 or 3 times a day. And she stopped going to Dunkin's. She has a mobile app, and the mobile app kept screwing up her orders. Like, even when she would go through the drive-thru and order it, the mobile app was screwing up her orders. She wasn't getting the points on there. Like it was supposed to. She wasn't getting the rewards off of it. Like, she would have, oh my gosh, like when she was at my house, from when we would go in the morning, and then plus like points that she's had, and then like me and Daniel will use her points. My aunt has her earn rewards, so like they build them up together. And then, but even then, like she still uses hers, and like other people use my mom's, because like we build up the points, and then we can all use them. We just gotta say, hey, let her know. That way we know. Because sometimes, like for like Thanksgiving or Christmas or family get-togethers or whatever, it's nice to get everybody a free Dunkin's coffee, or enough Munchkin donuts for all of the grandkids and great grandkids to share, and or like a breakfast. Like, it's awesome like that. So, you know, we communicate back and forth with each other about all that. What all is there? I mean, same thing. Like, we boost my grandmother's Kroger's card. Like, I have my own. I use my own. I use mine on the mobile app when, like, I do a grocery drop off, and then I will do like when I'm in the store. Sometimes when I'm in the store. Most of the times what I do is I use my grandmother's, and everybody uses my grandmother's number, her alternative ID. Because one, everybody lives like at that same address per se right now, and it really helps her with the gas. And I mean, she's more of on a limited income than the rest of us are, so it really helps her with that. And then we just do that. So anyways, going back to the Dunkin's thing, she was not getting her rewards, and what it would say was, it would be like, you ended up getting your free drink, but in reality she wasn't. And the store, like all the locations she went to, they were like rude and hateful about it, and said that, you know, it is what it is. And my mom was like, forget it, I'm not doing this. Like, y'all want to keep screwing on my orders no matter what location I go to. And it's all the same. Like, they all know her order. It's a, like, I'll get a small, but she gets a large. It's a large caramel iced coffee, liquid cream, and liquid sugar. That's it. And, you know, like, my grandmother gets a small without ice. But, like, my mom is always at Dunkin's. I'm just watching a squirrel go across the road. Ice. Yeah, ice. You got ice in your cup? No. So, back to this. She's not going there anymore because of Dunkin's. And then she don't go to Dunkin's anymore. What else is there update wise? My mom has redone her house again and again. But this time she's got a bathroom. She's kind of always had a bathroom in her place, in her little tiny house. But this time she's like it was movable. But then she had like just a spot for the toilet. Now what she did was she moved the toilet again to where she wanted it originally, and build it where she can now have a makeshift bathroom. And she's going off grid with it and everything, which is awesome. I think that's cool. I told her, I said, look, you got to stop moving your toilet, because there is times where I come out and it's like a 45-minute drive. And yes, there's places to stop, but it doesn't hit none of us until like right there, right when there's like nowhere to go. And I just want to go into your bathroom and be able to pull my pants down and know I'm sitting on your toilet, instead of going, where's the toilet? And then trying to have to hold it. Like, you know, when you have 3 kids, when you have kids at all, you know, like, you're trying to hold it, and then, mother. All right, so there's that about my mom. As of a couple of days ago, well, actually, let me start with therapy. I've been with my therapist for 6 months now. I want to say I started with her in February of this year. I really want to say it was like February. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but I was disappointed at first, because like, time management thing, it wasn't just me, and like, forgetting appointments, like, things were constantly being switched around. My own kids have their therapy appointments when they're in school through the same company, and you know, kids' other appointments, my other physical appointments, and then when something's dead set on the same day, same time, and then it gets switched, and then I have like a family emergency I gotta go to, or my IBS flares up, or like, I have a low immune system, so like the slightest little bitty thing can get me sick. But I'm not living in fear. So, you know, things happen. Life happens. But I think now she's starting to understand that, because before she like gave me a full-blown lecture about how Like, honest to God, my own parents and grandparents never spoke to me with the amount of just, I can't say hatred, but the amount of, like, just pointing fingers. And it's not a thing of where, I don't take accountability for my own actions. I don't take, I'm, like, entitled and self-centered and everything and blame other people for my actions. It was literally a thing. It was both of us. And it was just so confusing. And now that everything's straightened away, I even told Daniel, I was like, I don't know if I want to keep this up or anything. And he said, you know what? She was probably just having a bad day. We all have bad days. So, and then one of the reasons why I got into therapy too was because my kids are getting therapy for their ADHD and ODD and behavioral issues for themselves. I was getting therapy for the parenting version of that, and to work on some PTSD with my anxiety and depression that all accumulated from my past relationship with my ex-husband, with all the verbal and physical and mental abuse that went on. I don't want to talk about that. So I don't want to talk about that. Like, that's not something I want to talk to you guys about just yet. But, to go about that, I was explaining to her that, she asked me in the intake about, like, things that happened and, kind of go into detail about it. And I told her. And then one day, I told her I was having a really bad week. And she just straight said, you're just going to have to let the past be in the past. And I'm like, dude, most days I don't even want to leave my home. Other than taking my kids to school, I do not want to leave my home because I don't know if he's following me. I don't know if his family's there. Like, I don't know. And I'm not wanting to sit inside. So, I'm not an introvert. So, that really just, I was ready to quit. I was so ready to quit. But if it wasn't for my kids and the fact that I'd have to wait a while to find another therapist, and do that whole intake, like, I didn't want to relive everything that I told her again to a new intake therapist. So I was like, I'm going to give it time. I'm going to give it a year. And, if something doesn't change, if we don't start working on things and trying to come to an understanding, like, I don't know. I do know, like, I will be switching, and I don't care how long the process is, but I at least want to give it a year. Well, with all that being said, I sat there, and past couple of weeks have been really good with her. She acknowledged the extreme hold that whole relationship has on me. She's understanding that, like, medication does help me. My buspirone, it is helping me. The only thing is I need a boost with, like, coping skills and what to do, because it, like, for example, she was telling me, she was like, if you feel because I do get overwhelmed, overstimulated in situations. She's like, if you feel overwhelmed, just step out and get away for 20-30 minutes. Say, hey, I'm going out for the night. Can you watch the kids? Can you do this? Like, that's fine and great, but when I'm in the car and my kids are, like, at each other's throat because they both have ODD and they both have ADHD, and I have a toddler who just won't put up with it because he's not on the same level. Like, he's more well-behaved than the two older kids. It's so much. Like, I can't just step out of the car. I can't just tone them out. I can't just do certain things. I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't just go get in the tub for an hour and drown out everything because I can still hear them in my house. Even with locking the door, they're right there at the door. Even with, like, Daniel, being there, and, there's more to the whole family situation. And I know all parents get overwhelmed at some point. I know they all get, anxiety hits about, like, anything in anybody's life, and depression does too. And I love my kids, don't get me wrong. But just certain things didn't help. And she wasn't giving me any tools or guidance on what to do. And I'm like, none of these are working. And then I like broke down to her one day about a panic attack I had, and we were talking about it. But then just like 2 weeks ago, she was like, I didn't know you was having panic attacks. We need to further discuss this. And I'm like, you think? Like, oh my God. But on the up and up, we are starting to address certain triggers, certain like coping mechanisms and stuff. And there's a book that she's got that helped her with her kids, and when she was going through, because like we kind of went through the same thing, honestly. And she's getting that, and we're gonna go over some of it. And if I feel like, we're all different, but if I feel like if it helps, or like I can get things from it and it's helping, then I'll get the book myself and work on it as homework. Outside of that, like if it doesn't work, then she's got another one that we can try. But it's really like trying to just understand my kids and how they tick, and how to deal with it, because you can sit there and gentle parent my kids. Like, she saw it so many times. Like, I would sit there and gentle parent my kids while in therapy, because like we'd be over the phone, and we'd be like, I'd be at home, she'd be at home at her house too, and my daughter will not stop. And for like the whole entire session, she's like, you've done all the gentle parenting tips, and she will not stop. She will not get out of your face. Like, even telling her like about the boundaries, and you gotta give me time, and I cannot miss this appointment. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, we really got to work on this, because this is almost every single appointment. And it's when the kids aren't in school. So like if it's Tuesday and the kids are not in school because like election day, or parent teacher conference, or over the summer or fall break, or whatever the case may be, like she sees it. It's literally every single time. So I purposely schedule Tuesdays at 1 o'clock because I know the kids are in school. I'm just trying to check the time. And then working on stuff there. Kids are working on theirs and with their therapist. Okay, Mason's appointment. So, Mason, if you see this video when you get older, no, I'm not saying it to like embarrass you. Kids go through this, but I love you, but I'm just putting this out there. So Mason's almost 9, and he still wets the bed every single night. What? What'd you say? Night. You going night night? No. Yeah, that's what you just said. Yeah. May May and Aubrey go night night. Say May May. Watch this. Who's your mommy? Who's your mommy? May May. Avi. But anyways, Mason wets the bed every single night, no matter like cutting out drinks before bed. Honestly, like they get water at home, special occasions like chocolate milk, like birthday, if it's their birthday or their siblings' birthday or whatever, they can get pop. It's very limited. Like they get juice out of grandma's and stuff like that, but it's a constant problem. And he's even said himself that he's too lazy to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And when he wakes up in the morning, he just doesn't want to get up and go. So when we were at the doctor, it was about getting him back on his medication that he needed to be on. There was issues with the other place that he was going, and for his like he had the same primary care doctor, but the place that we had to go for his medication, we had issues with it, and it was too much. And in order for it was so weird. The woman wanted to see him every 2 months, but yet would only allow you to come once a year. And I'm like, No. So, and she was like, we want to get blood work done. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Every single time we would go into the facility that she told us that we had to go to, they'd be like, can't have other siblings. He has to fast. You have to be here at 8 a.m. and it's not an all day thing, even though it says it's all day. When I called, it said it was all day, and I can't physically have him there at 8 a.m. when he has other siblings going to school. Oh my God. And I'm like, I can't leave the toddler by himself. And ironically enough, they were open Tuesday through Friday. Well, guess what? Daniel works Tuesday through Saturday. So I always have the toddler when they're closed. And even when Daniel would get the day off for like other reasons. And then I'd be like, okay, I gotta go take him to his appointment. And, to get his blood work done at the blood lab. That's open 24/7. Like, part of it's open 24/7 for people in emergency rooms or fasting, which he had to fast. So at any given time. So, like, I would take him in on those days. Still, you can't have other siblings. Mason would, like, accidentally sneeze because of, I can't say accidentally. Mason would sneeze because of, like, seasonal allergies. Was not take him in. It was a stupid hot mess express. So, anyways, he needed to follow up his annual physical follow-up with his doctor. And she, like, I love her. She is so awesome. She's amazing. She's great. She specializes in kids with ADHD and ODD and other, I don't want to make this sound bad, but like other mental disabilities. I feel like I can say disabilities because I am disabled myself, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not somebody who doesn't have anything wrong with them and like saying, oh, well, that person's special ed, or that one's the R word, or that one, like, you know what I mean? So, and if I am, like, if anybody gets offended, I apologize. But we went there and everything, and like before, she had him pee in a cup, and well, let me backtrack. He got back on his medication. She put that order in. He was fine every other inch. He's never had a heart murmur, so like, if you like, this will play in, I'll tell you. His sister does. His sister had a heart murmur when she was little, and then we thought it went away because like the old doctors that we saw said that like there was no issues, but then we go to this doctor and she's like, yeah, she does. The past 3 years, listen to her heart rate. It fluctuates, and she's got a heart murmur, like everything. And she's 6 now. So okay. Well, let's add into Mason. No heart murmur, nothing like that. While we sat there, they had him drink a cup of water before we went in. Like, while we were in the waiting room, he had to drink like a big cup of water like this with ice in it because he asked if we can have ice. Drank the ice. And then she had him drink another cup because he said he still didn't have to go. And she was trying to figure out, like, okay, you drank at home, you drank this one, you drank, let's drink this one and see how long it takes you, just trying to figure out, like, what his body is doing. So we drank another one, and then maybe 10 minutes later, he had to go to the bathroom, did his urine sample, and, I didn't get the results until yesterday. And then, all the while, Aubrey's at school that day, and Lex stayed the night with my mom and my aunt, and went to work with her and stuff. He loved it. Anyways, just to, like, let y'all know where the other two were. So then we went down and did blood labs immediately after I'm sorry. We did blood labs after the appointment, immediately, like, before we even left. I'll give you those results in a second. But after the urine sample, they did a hearing test on him because when he was little, in the hospital, he did okay, but they wanted to check anyway. So then we had to come back in a couple of weeks. No, I'm sorry. When he got his tongue clipped. When he was, like, he was 4 months old when he got his tongue clipped. while we were there, the doctor wanted to do an overall health on him anyways, because he was an infant and wanted to make sure, like, even though it was a tongue clipping, that nothing went wrong. He did say, however, that Mason's ears, he, like, hardly could hear any low frequency sounds, but it wasn't concerned. And he said it may probably just because he just got off of anesthesia. And, I mean, we was at the ears, nose, and throat doctor, so, you know, he was like, I see this kind of a lot. Not, like, too much, but I do see this happen. I was like, okay. Their old doctor never did hearing tests or anything, or yearly or anything like that. The past 2 years, Mason has had, so, like, last year he couldn't hear low frequency sounds, and but he could hear, like, medium and high frequency sounds. This year, however, he could not hear low frequency sounds at all. And as a matter of fact, I have to call Monday and get him into Children's to get an audiology hearing balance at the center. So I have to do that for him and get him in because it's concerning. As of his blood work came back fine. Let's see, his blood work came back fine. His vitamin D is low, but they sent a prescription over to the pharmacy for the vitamin D. Everything else is fine. It's always been fine. As of his bladder, as weird as this is, like, literally as weird as this is, I mean, he is my kid. I've always had a hard time staying hydrated. I had to go to the hospital quite a few times, actually, to get a saline drop. Drip bags into me and stuff, just because I would just dehydrate and get sick to my stomach. So with Mason, his bladder and his kidney came back fine in the urine sample. The only thing, like, there was no blood, there was no kidney stones, there was, like, nothing like that, no bladder infection, because we're trying to figure out why he's still wetting the bed like he does. Like, it's a couple of times at night. It don't make sense. So weird, people are outside and we have like 11-12 minutes. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so his urine came back fine. The only his bladder and kidneys came back fine. His urine, though, is saying that he's 80% dehydrated, even though, put it this way, if you kind of want to do the math, at home he has a 32-ounce bottle of water, a 32-ounce thermos water, like his sister, and he drinks that whole thing gone in one day. Sometimes, majority of the times, he fills it up twice and drinks it twice. And then at school, he has a 12-ounce water bottle that all the kids get, and they fill them up like 2-3 times a day too. And he's just sitting there, he's chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging, and he's considered dehydrated. And the crazy thing about this too is, like, I have electrolyte packs because I need electrolytes, so I don't have to be in the hospital to get sick. And he drinks them. And it's electrolyte boost, and we drink a bunch of fruits, or we eat a bunch of vegetables. Like, we're not the healthiest family, don't get me wrong. But we do eat a lot of vegetable-enriched soups and, meals and stuff that have the potassium and the waters, the water in it, and oh my gosh, I can't think of it. But he should not be considered 80% dehydrated. So his doctor was like, he's considered chronically dehydrated, which could be putting his bladder into shock. And because Mason holds his urine, he has like a bladder of steel of a daytime. Like, when he's not holding it, his body says, hey, I have to release this, and I have to release it now. Like, right now. So she's wanting to do a urine sample. We're kind of debating, because we're aiming for it within like 2-3 weeks, but yet at the same time I have to follow up anyways in January for his medication. And with the other medication that she sent over, it's gonna take a couple of months to get, not a couple of months, but it's gonna take about 6 to 7 weeks, which is putting us out 2 months, for those to show up in his urine, and she's wanting to check that with that to see if like it's helping. So instead of checking his urine to then check it again and in the time like freak out or whatever, we're kind of aiming towards in the next 2 months. So in January, instead of like December, we just go in January. So it's not the fact that like I don't want to go. It's not the fact that she doesn't want to do it. It's the fact of we're trying to figure out the most logical situation of how to do this, to do it. If that makes any sense. But as of like so I posted on Facebook, and a lot of people on Facebook were saying coconut water, sugar-free popsicles, Pedialyte, Gatorade. He gets Gatorade when he wants it for like rewards and stuff like that, but I cannot give him Gatorade because of the red dye in it. Not the fact that we cut out red dye a lot. It's just that certain things that have red dye in it, he could tolerate, but Gatorades, he can't tolerate that well. Now, if we're at the park and he has like unlimited like range to run and play and be crazy and wild and he wears himself out, then okay. But he can't be like at the house getting mad and angry because he drank something with red dye in it. Now he's like breaking things and being out of control and putting his hands on me and his sister and stuff like that. Like he can't handle red dye. So moderations and limits. But somebody said something and it was like an MLM. I used to do Scentsy, and honestly I was not a fan of Scentsy, and I am not a fan of any what is that, market level member, whatever. It's like a pyramid scheme thing. I don't like it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't like anything that it does. Like, you get ripped off so much, and in order to keep it going, you have to pay for it, and then you have to try to like resell it, and like parties are always a bust. There is some people that do great, but I'm just not a fan. I won't support them anymore. And honestly, if you're a small business owner, and I say small business, not an MLM, I will support you. So I'm gonna hop off of here. Kids are almost out of school. I apologize for this being so long, but I just want to explain to you guys what's going on. Life update. Probably doing the Christmas tree this weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna get it on video. There's a lot. Like, we had to clean up all the fuzz on the floor because of the dogs. We gotta shampoo the carpets because I am anal about putting a Christmas tree down on something that's been like run around, played on, or anything. And you know, I know God doesn't care, but at the same time, like, I want the spot where the Christmas tree is gonna go to be nice and clean and pure. And you know, God was pure, and God is pure, and Jesus was pure, and you know, Jesus was born in a manger. And I know it's not the most cleanest place in the world, but at the same time, it's me. It's like my only like one big OCD, where it's like, and I like to shampoo my carpets twice a year because we have dogs, because we have kids, and I just think that well care maintenance needs to happen. So like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get it on video. I'm thinking honestly it might happen over Thanksgiving, because the dogs will be at the house, but they won't be that crazy if it's just them with Daniel. And then the kids won't be there, so Daniel can shampoo the carpets the night before. It's mostly living room getting shampooed, but they can be there the night before, and then we can come back the very next day and it'd be fine. And then we can hang up the Christmas tree. Alright, I'm hopping off of here. Everybody's starting to gather together. See y'all next time. Bye.